Hello fellow Peanuts fans, I'm Karen from CollectPeanuts.com. Today we're going to be talking about this vintage Snoopy Lunch Box. But before we get started, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and come join us on Patreon.com to help support videos like this in future and CollectPeanuts.com. Let's get started! Now I recently bought this lunchbox at an online auction. I had seen lunchboxes like this before, but they were usually in Canada, so I didn't want to pay the shipping cost. But I was lucky enough to find one in the US, and this is a vintage lunchbox by Thermos. But I don't know anything about this actual lunchbox, so it's a bit of a mystery. I hadn't really seen it that I remember before about this year, actually. And I think there's a couple reasons why. One, maybe it wasn't made for the United States market, so maybe they just don't come up in the US very often. And number two, this decal on the front, I think any amount of washing this would probably have destroyed this graphic, and eventually it probably would have just fallen off. So probably not a lot of these actually survived. But this one seems to be in really beautiful condition considering. There's a bit of a stain there, and it's got some problems, but you can see that it's really vibrant. Overall, it's really quite clean. What's not to love? So I have a few other lunch boxes here. This is a metal lunch box. They started making this one in 1969. I have a couple of plastic lunch boxes here. I'm not exactly sure when they started making these two. I don't have information on them. I would guess probably 1970s at some point. If anybody can confirm that, please let me know. I think at the latest, probably the early 1980s. Now these other two lunch boxes is how we're going to try and figure out exactly when this lunchbox might have been produced. So, based on other plastic lunchboxes, it's very different. You can see the handle is a completely different type. We've got two metal clasps on this one, and on this one we just have a plastic clasp. So this one just opens. Can't do it at an angle. Just like that. Whereas this one, you pull them up, and it's got this thermos holder in here, so it probably had a thermos at one point. I wonder what that thermos would look like. If anybody knows, please reach out, especially if you know anything about this lunchbox or you remember carrying this to school. Please reach out. There's quite the difference between these two lunch boxes. One thing to note that is similar is this thermos graphic on the back. It's very similar. So you know they didn't change their logo between these two. So let's go back to this metal one, see what we can see. There is some writing on the bottom of this one for Thermos division of King-Seeley Thermos Company here. And on the top here, we have a similar Thermos logo. It does not have the sun and snowflake graphic though. I think the main thing to note though is on the top here, and that is the similarity of these handles and of these clasps. So I would surmise that these lunchboxes are from about the same era. So the other evidence we have that this is from the late 60s is it just says 1968 on it. And sometimes we don't trust these dates because they usually refer to the character. But since this is a singular date, I'm guessing this is from 1968, which is amazing. And finally, one of the other things we can look at, if we didn't have this date and we didn't have this other lunchbox here to compare to, we could just look at these graphics. They're very, very early. You can see this graphic here. It matches another lunchbox from 1968, this classic Snoopy domed one you can see on the screen now. Don't have one of those handy to show you. There you go. That's how we date this. I mean, the easy thing to do is just look at the date on the front of the lunchbox, but sometimes we need to look at a little bit more evidence just to make sure that date is the correct date for this item. So if you have any more information on this lunchbox, I would love to know, since where did this come out? How come I can't seem to find it anywhere? If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and click subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Reminder, come join us on Patreon.com where you can support the site, or visit us at CollectPeanuts.com where you can buy items for your own collection and see more photos of my collection, plus lots of articles about collecting peanuts. Happy collecting! Bye! So there's a Snoopy here holding a lunchbox that is a picture of this lunchbox. And so the Snoopy on there is holding a lunchbox with a picture of this lunchbox. And on that lunchbox is a picture of this lunchbox.